SGA and the Thunder can punch their second straight ticket to the NBA Finals with a win tonight on the home floor of Wemby and the Spurs. San Antonio needs Wemby to recover from his struggles on both ends of the floor in Game 5. Offensively, just 4 of 15, 27%, worst performance of his young playoff career. On the other side, the Defensive Player of the Year, allowing OKC to shoot almost 70% as the primary defender, up from 51 over the first 4 games of this series. And we have reporters covering both teams. Michael C. Wright with the Spurs, Tim MacMahon with the Thunder. Michael, let me start with you and Wemby. Only 4 made baskets in Game 5. Mitch Johnson stating the obvious. They need more scoring from him. What are you hearing from the team about Wembanyama in this elimination game tonight?
Well, Hannah, it's not just about the scoring. It's about being aggressive. It's about getting the attempts. Mitch Johnson said that Victor's going to have more than just 15 attempts. So when you look at the San Antonio Spurs, their victories throughout this series, those have both been games where Victor Wembanyama was absolutely the best player on the floor. 41 points, 24 rebounds in Game 1, 33 points in Game 4. That's the Victor Wembanyama they need. Now, Stephon Castle said that it's hard because they're throwing so many bodies at Victor Wembanyama, and he said that Victor is trying to play the right way, but look, we need him to be aggressive because that opens up shots for everybody else.
Yeah, they also really need that bench to play better. Okay, on the other side, let's look at the Thunder, who can advance to the NBA Finals for a second straight year. What are you hearing from them, Tim, about the challenges of closing out this series on the road tonight?
Howdy, Hannah. Look, they're certainly aware that the Knicks are waiting for them in the finals, should they get there, but I've heard not one word about the Knicks from anybody with the Thunder organization. Their sole focus is on closing out the Spurs, and they're anticipating one hell of a fight. In Game 4, they felt what the Spurs play like when they are desperate, when their season's on the line. You know, as SGA said after that game, they just punched us in our face early. The Thunder weren't able to handle that. They weren't able to respond. That's a challenge for them tonight because, you know, this is win or go home for the Spurs. So they are absolutely anticipating and bracing for the Spurs' best punch, and they got to be prepared to fight back.
Yeah, 7-1 since they've been in OKC when leading 3-2 in a series. Hey, Michael, when you see Tim at the arena, does he also say howdy to you, or does he just say howdy to us?
No, that's all shtick. It's all shtick. That's not Tim. Tim is not a nice man.
I cannot say what I say to Mike on the air. I'll put it to you like that.
Okay, by the way, those two are standing like within a foot of each other.
Whoever wins this has the momentum to close this thing out.
This team at home, when they get rolling, they're so tough to stop.
He knows this is desperation time. He's pleading with his team, fight.
Spurs need a desperate, miraculous comeback or else they'll be playing for their lives. McCain lifting, launching, finding a three. Game number 5 to the Thunder. 1 win from a return to the finals.
It is win or stay home for Victor Wembanyama and his young teammates of the Spurs as the Thunder can punch their ticket once more to the NBA Finals, but they'll have to do it on the road in San Antonio as basketball analyst Chiney Ogwumike joins us. And Chiney, we've been talking with you about Wemby's struggles in Game 5 on both ends of the floor. What do you think is the best formula for the Spurs to get him going tonight early?
I know Wemby, he has the talent and the skill set to be able to play outside in, but he truly is unguardable when he plays inside out. Anytime he wins, not just a win in the column, it's because he is able to dominate the paint. This guy, this man, 22 years old, is 7'5". For him to be able to extend the series, he will need to do exactly that, take on all matchups, whether it's the small guards that guard him or the big players like Isaiah Hartenstein. He will need to dominate the paint. So in transition, I expect to see him getting downhill and not picking and popping because no one can guard that man when he's got the vicinity of the rim.
Right. I would say more than 15 shots is probably on the horizon. On the other side, what do you need to see from SGA and the Thunder if they're going to close this thing out on the road?
You know what's crazy? You can apply both game plans or scouting reports for their both both of their stars, whether it's Victor Wembanyama or Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, I want him to score before the defense gets set. Because when the defense gets set, it makes it really hard. He's getting double teamed. He'll still get to his numbers, but the ease to which he gets to 30 is the question mark. So if he's able to, similar to Victor Wembanyama, get buckets in transition before they really scheme and try to slow him down, that allows him to be his best version of himself, meaning he can score himself or he can create. Last game when they won in Game 5, he was able to have 9 assists. His teammates shot very well when he passed the ball. That all starts with creating advantages when they switch ends of the floor.
Yeah, listen, that was great because he was struggling early, but he managed to find his teammates. Given all of that, how many times have these teams played? 10 times already? Give us a prediction for who wins tonight, Janae.
Honestly, Hannah, I'd be happy with 10 more based off of the smoke between these two teams. I'm going to say that the Spurs win at home, back against the wall. We're going to get a legendary performance from Victor Wembanyama, and this series will go 7 games the way it's supposed to be. That's what I'm asking the basketball gods of Spalding and Wilson.
Oh, man, I'm Spalding and Wilson, listen to us. I love it. Game 7, best 2 words in sports. Janae, you're the best, so you're not done. Just hang out for a sec because we got a couple more things to talk about. Jay?
Spalding and Wilson sounds like a law firm. Sports betting analyst Joe Fortenbaugh with us now. Hey, Joe, you gave us a few bets for Game 6. Chet Holmgren under 14.5 points, that number down to 13.5. You also gave us Wemby under 13.5 rebounds. That's down to 12.5. So if you follow Joe, you locked in better prices than they're offering today. So, Mr. Fortenbaugh.
All right, thanks for having me, Jay Harris. I'll catch you tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I had to give the background. Give us a couple more bets that you like for Thunder Spurs.
Let's start with the total, 219.5. We're going to bet the under. Game 5 gave us the most points we've seen in the entire series. It gave us the most free throw attempts we've seen in the entire series. And it gave us the second fastest pace of the entire series. As a result, we now have one of the highest totals of the series, which means a guy like me is going to naturally look to go the other way and bet the under. A.J. Mitchell out. Jalen Williams could be out. Keep in mind, Game 5, it didn't hurt. Game 4 killed the offense. I think we get a lower scoring affair. Isaiah Hartenstein, player prop, over 7.5 points. Nobody in this series is getting better looks than Hartenstein. It's a math problem for San Antonio. When you take into account SGA and the other primary scorers, they routinely leave Hartenstein open. As a result, he's putting up points. 10 or more in 3 of his last 4 starts. He's averaging 4.5 made field goals per game during that stretch. Throw in a couple free throws, we're home and we're making some money.
That little lefty push thing he's got going on. You can't stop it. You can only hope to contain it. Joe Fortenbaugh, my guy, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Hey, you two, just stay on camera for a while. That was cute. All right, let's head to the WNBA and a battle of 4 teams. We have the Valkyries hosting the Fever. They played just last Friday. Indiana won 90-82 behind 22 points from Caitlin Clark. She played that game after missing a game with back soreness, and then concern elevated after injuries limited her to obviously only 13 games last season. So everybody's got an eye on this. Golden State off to another good start. They make the playoffs last year as an expansion team, and now everybody's watching out for them as Kendra Andrews joins us now. Janae is back. So Kendra, let me start with you because we have seen the Fever managing this back injury with Caitlin Clark. What is she saying about her health?
Yeah, Hannah, she says that she's feeling good. Look, the Fever haven't played since last Friday when they hosted the Valkyries, so they've had 6 days of practice and recovery, and Caitlin says that her body is feeling really good. But managing her health, as you said, has really been a process over the last year as she's gotten to know her body more. Before, she said, I would brush off anything, any discomfort I felt. I'm fine, I can play, I can go. But that's not always a good thing. But she admits now she might be almost too hyper aware of her body, and it might hold her back sometimes. So she said, I'm really trying to just strike a balance between listening to myself, acknowledging all of the feelings, all the thoughts that I have, and then figuring out when I can play and when I need to rest. She also said that she's just trying to be really in touch with her mental health, and that helps her, push through with her body and understand her body. She said, I need to understand. It's okay to feel disappointed. It's okay to feel stressed. It's okay to doubt myself. I can acknowledge those thoughts, but I also need to celebrate the victories, both big and small. And so at this early portion of the season, she's just trying to find a little bit of equilibrium, a little bit of balance in every aspect of her health.
Right, staying in the moment and not worrying too much about it. That's a really interesting report, Kendra. We appreciate it. And Chene, as you're watching the Fever, right? It's been a bit of an up and down season. I'm just wondering what your biggest takeaway is about what you're seeing from Indiana so far.
My biggest takeaway, and we all know it's early in the WNBA season, is that this is still a team that can contend to play and make some noise when it comes to the end, when it comes to the postseason and potentially a championship. That is their expectation. If you ask Caitlin Clark what the goal is, it's to win it all. And they have a big three that is certified. You saw Caitlin, who leads them in scoring. That right there is Kelsey Mitchell, a certified bucket off the dribble. Aaliyah Boston as well, expanding her range, leading the team in rebounds. Those three combined for 62 points, but they also touch so many different aspects of the game. Caitlin with her assists, Kelsey with her off-ball movement, and Aaliyah being the physical presence anchor on the inside. That big three can carry them far. There will be some growth throughout the season, but they're still a team to beat.
I love the way that they brought everybody back, as did obviously the defending champion Aces. Aja Wilson and company are taking on Paige and AZ Fudd and the Wings. Really, really interesting matchup tonight. What are you going to be watching closely in this one?
Anytime Aja Wilson is playing, I'm watching her because that woman is a 4-time MVP, 3-time champion. You know, she's appointment basketball, but also that's something we know. What we did not know is how good this Dallas Wings team is now, considering that they got back-to-back #1 picks. I'm watching AZ Fudd's minutes. Now, I know there's been a lot of hoopla about whether she starts or not because she comes off the bench, but then she started the second half of the last game. But regardless, she played 32 minutes, dropped 24 points, hit 6 threes, and broke even a record that was done by the franchise and her teammate in Paige Beckers. So that's great. And then, of course, obviously Paige. She's one of the smartest high IQ players in the entire WNBA. So to see the growth of this Dallas Wings squad, which will be tested versus the reigning champs in the Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah, they were so good in New York. Jose Fernandez seems to have figured things out there in Dallas. They won 3 of their last 4. Chene, always great to talk to you. Thanks.